Okay, so everything's disassembled, all the internal parts are out, and so now comes the work of cleaning. And this is just good old-fashioned elbow grease. I've got my main tools of the trade here, wire brush of different sizes, and I'll go through that, working on getting rid of all the grime and sawdust, and then move on to some perhaps some sandpaper on certain areas that need it, on the machined areas, just very carefully. And then we'll evaluate at that point and see if I'm going to repaint or not, see how good these clean up or not. Okay, so the cleaning of internal parts is done. Again, wire brush and some sandpaper. This one was gunked up pretty well on the worm gears and on the teeth, on the pieces of the yoke here. But just wire brush and a little putty knife to get into the cracks. This is classic gunked up gears. They must have used, looked like grease from a grease gun. Terrible choice for the internals of a table saw. It's just going to collect sawdust and grime, and it's going to harden and cake up. I just use light machine oil and wipe off the excess. You don't want anything in there that's going to gunk up and collect sawdust or attract sawdust. White lithium is another classic one that hardens and creates a problem as well. So this all got cleaned up well, and the shafts spin freely, so that's good. And in this case I'm not going to repaint them. I sort of like the look here, nice little patina. There's nothing wrong with repainting the internals. Obviously sometimes I do that if they look worse than this, but in this case I think it just looks like a saw that's been used well. And I usually try to leave something original in the saw, usually something on the inside, so there's a reference from my restoration to the original. So in this case I'm going to leave the internals original.